Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cities Skylines, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play in Cities Skylines Campus. If you've been paying attention to the vanilla Let's Play, you'll know that we've had some fun with campuses, and you'll know that I've built one and fully decked it out. But what I haven't done yet is build 3 campuses in one city. This map is called Varna. It's based off of the place by the same name in Bulgaria. The terrain is pretty similar. The road layouts are inspired by what's going on in the real-life version of Varna. My city in this case is going to be called Nerdsey. And just in case you're wondering if you can get your hands on this map as well as all of the mods that I'm going to be using in this series, well, I have some good news. First and foremost, this is a map that I found on the Steam Workshop. It is beautiful, I love it, and it will be linked in the description alongside every single mod that I'm using. That's Traffic Manager President Edition, that is Move It, that is network extensions, that is precision engineering, that is a whole bunch of mods that I'm using for this series. That collection will be updated on the Steam Workshop as I add more things. I will never be removing anything from it because if I use it once, it'll be in that collection. That will apply to the assets as well. So everything from this series will be in one collection. You can head over to Steam, you can click subscribe to all, and you'll be able to build alongside me in Cities Skylines. Unless you're playing on console, in which case, well, I'm thinking about playing some console edition, possibly some Xbox One edition at some point in the near future, so keep an eye out for that on the channel. So the infrastructure on this map is actually fantastic. There are a bunch of highway connections. There are a bunch of train lines coming right in here. It's obviously got room for a harbor in here as well, which is what this is in the real world. And in the real world, this island over here on the left is actually a bunch of industry. It's a bunch of warehouses and things like that. The good news is that the map creator has decided to go ahead and completely cover that island in ore. We can't look at it right now because we haven't unlocked any of these, but it is covered in that. And I am going to be getting some ore industry in there probably long before we get our hands on a university campus. The reason for that is that it has 2 highway connections on either side here, which will be fantastic to have for that industry, for exporting and all that good stuff. This would be a good place for an airport as well, I think, but honestly, there's a lot of flat land around here. We can get an airport in here as well someday, but that's in the future. That's way down the line. We got to get started, and we're going to get started a little differently to how I've got started recently with Cities Skylines. I'm not gonna build a battery. I'm just not, because every time I do, people complain, and also because I just kind of fancy a change. So we're just gonna build off of there, and we're gonna do, I don't know, some kind of big old curve here, I guess. And I think we'll go just sort of down like this a bit, and that's gonna be what it is. It's just a plain old road right there. At the end of it, I'm gonna do some kind of roundabout, so we'll do a 5 by 5 and so on and so on and so on. And that'll just be a way that they can U-turn at the end of the road. I'm thinking on this side over here, I want to do something really similar. So that's about 12 out, that's 10 there. We'll go a 30 on that road. We'll have it go to, you know what? It can go to the left as well. So I think that was a 20 by 20 curve. So this can go to the left on a 20 by 20, and it can go, let's see here. You know what I'm actually going to do? And this is something I have an idea for because I've been looking about this map. I've been thinking that I want to bring an avenue down through this area at some point and have it go over the highway there. And then over on this side, I want to go under the highway there. So this road could actually sort of snake around over in this direction, and that would be kind of perfect. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and say, let's do a road like this. We'll turn off our guidelines. We'll do a road like this, which is pretty much the perfect angle. And at the end of it, we'll do ourselves another 5 by 5 by 5 and by 5 roundabout. And we can go ahead and just link those two roads together with a little bit of precision engineering. Maybe not quite that little. We can do this sort of thing though. So this should have no problem linking up here, I think. I'm trying to remember how to use precision engineering. It's going to be a while. But that right there will do it. And that looks pretty good to me. So that's going to be where I think I'm going to put a lot of our residential stuff for the time being. I do want to mention that I do have a lot of plans for all of this. I'd like to get some boats along the river. I'd like to get this to be sort of a downtown area. This can sort of be industry and offices and commercial. But obviously, again, it's kind of early game and I'm trying to avoid doing a battery. So let's not talk about planning too much, because if we talk about planning too much, I'm going to build a battery. Now, water is obviously a big deal. So let's get ourselves some water pumps just... Well, actually, I say water pumps. Do we want pumps or do we want to do water towers? I'm thinking I could probably get away with a water tower. So let's do that. Let's throw a water tower in the middle. And let's just sort of connect all of this together as best we can. So this can come through to about there. This can be linked sort of down to there. And then this can just sort of follow all of the roads around. And if we really want to, we can actually do another water tower just in there. Probably not gonna do that because not really an ideal location for it. That's probably gonna be where all of our industry is, but that's kind of okay. I like that. I think it's nice. Let's also deal with sewage though, because that's kind of a big deal. And I'm thinking sewage right in there, honestly. Perfect location for it. Just right in the middle of that little sort of cutaway space. And then the pipe can just go over like that. It's obviously going to need power, which I think in this case, I mean, this is 6,000. That's a lot of money, but it would... Well, is it cheaper to do this? Is this cheaper if I use Anarchy real quick just to estimate the price? It is. It is about half the price to do power lines. So... I guess we're gonna have to do power lines, which I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to do, but, well, I guess we're doing power lines. So let's see what I can do with these. I don't want to completely destroy the terrain with these. So I'm just gonna kind of go up to 24 meters right off the bat and immediately gonna be destroying some of the terrain. So let's just try and navigate with a little bit of grace, so that I'm not destroying everything. And then we'll go sort of this way and essentially just straight across to there. So that'll give power to all of that. We are gonna need similar going from here. So bring that back down to the normal height. Here to, let's do here instead. So straight across like that, basically, because that's where the power plant's gonna go. So it can go there for 19,000. We have $20,000 left. Let's throw in industry to a lot of this space. So all of that. Let's do a chunk of commercial down here. And then the rest of that is going to be residential. So all of that can be residential zoning. That can all build up. That'll hopefully all build up relatively quickly. And that'll hopefully start making us money and doing good things for us. And I realize if this works out really, really well for me, I'm completely invalidating my battery video, which is lovely. Really looking forward to doing that. That should go well for me, shouldn't it? I'm also noticing we need to get a 2-lane highway in here. This road is, this road here, right? This little 1-lane road has connections from over here. It has connections from down here, which obviously doesn't have anything yet. And it has connections from over here as well. Like, it's a really busy road. We're gonna want to upgrade that. We are definitely going to want to upgrade that. I'm also really hoping we can... There we go. So those guys have power. If someone builds in here, that would be lovely, because then we can get power to all of those guys. And power to the water as well. Come on. Someone build in there. I'm begging you. Just right there, right in the corner, right in that bit. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me, cities. Come on. It's right there. You guys are building as well. That's good. So that's all connected. Seriously? We're really doing this, aren't we? There we go. All right, so you guys still don't have water. You do have water now. Okay. So that's good. They all have water. They'll all hopefully start paying money. We are a little hamlet, which means we got taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, education, etc., etc. Let's have a look at taxes, by the way, because those are going to go up to 11% on everybody. I don't think I can do 12%. I say that at the start of every series, by the way. You might have noticed. I always say the same thing. I don't know if we can do 12%. I don't know if we can do 11. I don't know if we can do this. I actually need to look that up and, you know, save it to memory at some point, because I never remember how far we can go with taxes. I just don't, and it annoys me because I should remember. It's not that hard, you know? I really should remember it. Anyway, we are making money. We do have demand for residential as well, which is fantastic news. So what I think I'll do is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna try to take that out for a second, and I want to go like that, because I'd like to see if I can get some sort of like nice little thing going here, basically like a nice little road going alongside this and all that good stuff. So let me see how we would go about doing that. We'll need road guidelines for one. So from there to essentially there, and that's perfect. It's pretty good looking, at least. And then from there to there. So that follows around exactly the same way. We can probably get rid of that roundabout at some point. And that can just go straight down here. Really, really nicely. And then I'd like to do the same on this side as well, I think. So if we were to go, let me see, from here, like that. The question is, can I do that? And the answer is, I don't know if we can do that. We should be able to. It shouldn't be a problem. Something like that should be nice and easy. And then something like, let me see here, from there straight down to that spot and straight to, come on, work with me right there. Okay. So those are all like parallel and beautiful and doing exactly what I want them to do. That does kind of make me think that we need a roundabout sooner than up here. Although we actually don't, because what we can just do is that right there. There we go. So that kind of loops around. That's going to be a nightmare for traffic. That roundabout is going to be terrible. But we do have water coverage kind of everywhere. Not on the outside of the roads, but in the middle, that's fine. So let's do more residential. Let's just start filling it up. Let's do a bunch of residential in all these back spaces and bring it around a little bit. Linden Street, by the way, I think I've told you this story before if you've been around for a little while. I'm pretty sure it was a Cities Skylines series that I told it in. Linden is one of my favorite names. I don't really know why it stuck with me, but I was walking through my hometown. This was a couple of years ago. And again, I've told this story before, so if you've heard it before, then I do apologize. I was walking through my hometown, and there was someone in the street giving out flyers for their church. And I don't remember exactly what church it was. I don't remember what religion they followed. He was wearing like a jacket with a white shirt, black tie. That though I don't remember what that is called, and I don't want to say anything that's going to sound remotely offensive. So you probably know who the kind of guy I'm talking about. Anyway, he was handing out these flyers and talking to people, and I was walking towards the top end of town. What can I do here while I'm telling this story? Otherwise, if I get into this story, I know I'm going to do nothing here. So let me just add some roads real quick, because again, I know I'll do nothing here. In fact, I'll do this while I'm telling the story. So I was walking towards the top end of town, and this guy stops me and says, you know, would you have a moment to talk about, I can't remember what it was. I don't think he actually said the words to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't think it wasn't that. That's kind of like the cliche thing that you always hear. So would you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus? It wasn't that. He just said like he wanted to talk or whatever it was. I really don't remember. It's not important. But we got talking, and I'm not a religious guy. I want to just put that out there. I do have a lot of respect for religions and all that. I think it can help a lot of people and a lot of my anyway, I'm rambling. What is going on with the zoning here, by the way? That's annoying me a lot right there. I'm gonna have to do some paths at some point to fix that. Anyway, I talked to this guy, and I didn't realize at first that he was representing his church. He was actually from, I think it was either Australia or New Zealand, and his name was Lyndon. And we got talking, and we did talk about religion quite a bit, and I talked about how I'm not particularly religious myself. I went to a very religious school, and I have learned a lot through religious studies. A lot of the love thy neighbor, treat others how you wish to be treated. A lot of things that I think are basic human decency, but were taught to me through religion, and I think were very important lessons. Anyway, this guy's name was Lyndon, and we were talking. I wound up talking to him for about, this looks really weird actually. I wound up talking to him for about an hour. And half of that was talking about video games, because we got talking about what my job was and what I was doing for a living, and we got talking about Halo 3. It turns out he was a really big Halo fan, and so am I. I love the Halo games. And we spent about 30 minutes talking about Halo 3 multiplayer, and this was a couple of years ago, so this was like, we were just on a nostalgia trip. And it was honestly one of the best conversations I've ever had, and I think that's where my liking of the name Lyndon comes from, because it was just a really genuine, human feeling conversation. And it was nice, because I have this thing, and maybe some of you might be able to relate to this, where on occasion I will just talk, and I don't want to say to an awkward extent, but you might be able to relate to this, where like someone asks you how you're doing. And a lot of the time when someone says, how are you doing? It's just a way of saying hi. It's just a way of being polite. They don't actually expect you to really answer that. But occasionally, you will tell them your life story, your deepest, darkest secrets, and just everything. You'll just talk. This was like having someone else do that to me and me do that. It was just such a good conversation, man. I can't stress enough how great this conversation was. And yeah, it was really cool. I think he said he was going to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't think he did. But yeah, that's why Lyndon is one of my favorite names, I think. Morgan's not a bad one, but I think Morgan's like down the list a little bit, and then Audrey Street is like no at all. Anyway, we have things we need to build. We need either a landfill site or a recycling center. And I always lean towards the recycling center, but landfill is so much cheaper. So I'm going to do a landfill site because I want to save some money. And I do want to go ahead and build more roads for more housing. So let's just do that. Let's get our guidelines and let's just do a little road straight down there, I guess. In fact, let's do that so it doesn't connect down there. And let me see. If I go there... I can. We'll do this. We could connect it over here if we really wanted to, which I don't know that I do, because it'll sort of cut into the trees a little bit. But that kind of works. I think that's about as far over as that road really needs to go. Can I get like a nice angle here? That's not bad. That is not bad. Let's build you across so that that's a better connection than trying to go... Well, there's fine. We'll do that. So yeah, that'll kind of work. Maybe we'll do like a little sort of corner thing just there. I like that. Let's just do a bunch more houses on that because we have demand. We're going to need to do more, more pipes as well. But if I can get my money and everything up to a good point, I mean, I want to stress that this is... actually not bad looking, honestly. Push an avenue through there and we might be all right in terms of traffic management. I assume right now traffic's okay because we have less than 1,000 people in here. But in future, I foresee it getting quite rough. I also think I do want to put a road through here. So we do have these. We do have these small 4-lane roads from network extensions. So I think those are going to have to go in there. And I think I'm going to do the same up here as well. We do have the roundabout. That road kind of invalidates the roundabout. But I'm going to do that. Also, does that... Oh my god, it connects straight... Absolutely doing that. Absolutely doing that. That looks awesome. And yeah, that lines up perfect. Okay. That worked out really nicely there. I'm pleased with that. Really, really pleased with that. In fact, I'm gonna run that straight down in there. Really pleased with that. That's just worked out perfectly. This not gonna happen. This could happen. I'm like, this feels like it's naturally like coming together into like a grid when I didn't mean for it to be a grid, but it's nice. Okay. That's weird. Let me get rid of this roundabout up here. I know we've got our water tower there, but I'm just gonna like get rid of it because I think it's gonna be for the best. I think I want to curve these corners too. So like that. And I think what we'll do is actually have that entire end part be some commercial. I think that'll be kind of nice. This looks a little bit more phallic than I want it to be, by the way, just before anyone points it out. Like, I'm kind of aware that this is getting a little carried away. My design choices are definitely a little bit stiff, but that'll change. It's fine. You know, my design, I'm not, I had this joke. I run this joke into the ground on the vanilla Let's Play series. Let's not do it again. Let's just get a water tower there and there. And bulldoze those for a power connection and then a water connection like that. And then pipes kind of need to go around here as best as they possibly can. So something like this. I'm going to just try and make this... I want to try and make this neat. You know, as best as I can. I could just do a big grid of pipes. That kind of is an option, and that's usually something I do, but I want it to look okay. So I'm going to try and avoid doing the big grid of pipes thing. We can connect those together. We don't have any coverage out there. So we'll try and get some like this. Straight across and straight across to there as well. So that's a bit better. That'll give us more water. That gives us more coverage, which means they don't have power. That's a worry. Oh yeah, I got rid of this, didn't I? Okay. Well, that's fixable. Does that connect? It does. Okay. So they have power. Do they have policing? Did I build a police station? I did not. They don't have medical. Did I build a police? I didn't. They don't have medical. They don't have police. They don't have fire. They don't have money. I feel like the big complaint right now is policing, though. So I feel like a police station there is a pretty solid idea. I think we'll do this style. So that'll cheer them up a bit. We are making money, which is nice. So I really can't complain. Apparently there has been a small fire, but we'll not stress about it. It's okay. And I guess what we can do is I can tell you another small story whilst we wait for things to build, because this Let's Play was supposed to be very, very different to what it is right now. This is obviously the first episode, but I did actually record a full week of episodes of this Let's Play, and they were scheduled to release on the 8th of June 2019, and then every day after that, skipping the following Monday, the 8th being a Saturday. At the time of recording this, it is the 8th of June 2019, and the reason that... Did I say... I feel like I said 2016 a minute ago. I might not have. 2019, right? Anyway, it's the 8th of June 2019 at the time of recording, and the reason for that is actually kind of weird. I edited the original series a while ago, and I was a little delayed in releasing it because I edited it and I was like, there's something just not 100% about this. And, oh, we're a tiny town. Fantastic. We got park area. Oh, we got parks. We got industries. Yes. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay. Anyway, we'll come back to that. I edited the episodes and I started kind of just watching through them a little bit to be like, are they okay? Is there anything wrong with them? I don't want there to be like a massive glaring editing issue in part 1 of a new series. So I watched through and I was like, there's something not right with this. There's something that's like not where I want it to be. And I couldn't put my finger on it and I kind of forgot about it for a little bit. And then I went back and I watched the episodes. I watched the first episode, the first 2 episodes before they released. I watched them like this morning. So the morning that they were originally supposed to go out, I watched them and I was like, these are bad. Like these are boring. These are not fun to watch, because I did the battery and I did just more of the same, really. Like it really was. And that was something I said a lot in the episode as well. It was like, oh, we're going to do this. We've done this before in this series and blah, blah, blah. And it was really bad. And it was a weird moment, like watching one of my videos and being like, I don't like this. I'm glad I caught it. Like, I'm glad that I didn't put the video out, because that probably would have been really bad. Like, it wouldn't have done me any favors. People have been sitting for a while. You guys have been tweeting me and messaging me on Discord and all sorts of things saying, hey, I'm really excited for the campus series. And then the campus series comes out and it's like, oh my God, what is this? So it was just weird watching it and being like, this is something I made and I'm really not enjoying it. It's really bad. So it was an interesting moment. I've done it before. I have done that with series in the past. It's just, I've never done it in such short notice, where I kind of sat down the day it was due to release and I went, oh boy, we need to fix this. So that was fun. That's why, just in case this video doesn't go out on the 8th of June, I did tweet saying that I promised they would go out in that date. If they don't, that's the reason why. Because I sat down to watch it and I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. So that's why. I just wanted to clarify. You guys don't have power. Or you shouldn't. There you go. All right, well, that's good. How can I give you power? Can I do that? I didn't zone any of that, so that should be fine. I think. Yeah, there we go. So they've got power. They got plenty of space to zone and sort of build there. Let me figure out then. So we got industries. That was a thing. I want to paint an industrial area. Wait, ore? Oh, I need 1,900 for ore. Man, that's not fair. I mean, forest industry is an option. It is an option. We could paint some forestry and like all of this. We could do farming down there. We could do farming way out there, which I might do. I have oil out there too. But this right here is the holy grail of industry. This is an island of ore, which, let's be real, that's perfect. That is exactly what I need. I love doing the industrial stuff. I love that the infrastructure is already on the island for it. So I'm kind of really excited to play with this a little bit. Let's see if I can just neaten this up, because as we all know, a neat district is a happy district. So that looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's neat, right? There's nothing, we didn't say anything about a perfect district. We just said about a neat district being a happy district. You know, the imperfections are arguably what makes it perfect. And that's the end of it, okay? We'll hear no more about these so-called perfect districts. They don't exist. That right... I realize I'm saying we'll hear no more about it, and I'm being so picky about getting that right. That's going to be our industrial zone, though. So that's perfect. We'll assign that at some point. In terms of parks and plazas, I'm actually looking at this space and thinking it could be one, but I don't know if we need it right now. I'm thinking this area back here could possibly be its own sort of residential space too. So if we go back like this, and we were to go, let's say down to there, down to there, and down to there. That'll give us, I mean, it's a big grid, but that's okay at this point. We managed to do some curves and stuff before we did grids, so I think, I feel like I can get away with it a little bit, you know, doing a little bit of a grid there when we do have all these curves. I'm realizing I have so many weird sayings with Cities Skylines. We have rail cities have curves. We have a neat district is a happy district. There's some weird sayings, man. There really are. It's strange. Just in case you're curious, by the way, in case you were ever wondering, rail cities have curves is on a t-shirt. Just throwing that out there. I'm not implying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm just letting you know that rail cities have curves is available on the old store. Should you happen to be into, you know, purchasing t-shirts or whatever, should you be the kind of person that wears clothes, I do have them available. Just so you know, just providing you with information. I can tag this video as educational because of that fact. I don't think that's how it works, but whatever. We'll find out together. Let me see here. I want to make sure all these junctions can be entered because those are really close together and it'll get weird if they can't. But I do want those to be close together. I like that. I like that we have that space over there too. So let me do some of this and we'll get some pipes into all of this space. So just a little something like that. That one's at a nasty looking angle there. Not a fan. Let's just do that. And then we can go ahead and connect all of these together. So those guys will have water. We're approaching 1,900 people, which means I can go ahead and very soon get that industry, which I'm very excited about doing. But I actually like this a lot. Like, this feels like a natural growth of a city. I've got these like nice curves in here. It's nice. I'm really enjoying it. This feels different. It feels like I can now see, I think, why people didn't. I don't want to say people didn't like the battery that I did. I can see why people complained about it though for like I think I did it for like 4 series in a row or something. I don't know if we did it for Park Life, but I definitely did it for. I did it for Industries. I did it for Vanilla. I think I did it for Park Life. I really don't remember, but I think I did do like 3 or 4 series in a row where we did the same exact start. And yeah, I did. There were people that were like, hey man, do you maybe want to like not do the battery? And I was really stubborn about it. And I went through this phase where I was so cynical about so many things, and I regret it because I don't really swear in Cities videos, and I guess this is pretty tame compared to like what I would probably say on something like Twitch. But I was kind of an asshole for a little while, I think. There'll be someone in the I guarantee you there's gonna be someone will tweet me or try to post a comment, good luck, and they're gonna be like, oh, you're still an asshole. But I seriously went through this phase for a little while where I was just kind of a pain. I looked at my own Twitter and I'm like, what am I doing, man? Like, why am I being like this? There's no need for it. I was just kind of being cynical to be cynical, right? Like, just for the sake of being cynical, I was being cynical. And I looked at it one day and I was like, man, I gotta fix this. And this, like, I think one of the things that made me want to fix it was I was getting this feedback about, like, why is that elevated? I was getting this feedback about doing things like the battery at the start of all these different series, and I was like, well, it works. Like, that was literally my response. I was like, it works, man. What do you want me to do? And and my reasoning for that, like, I did have a reason for it. I wasn't just, I was being an idiot, but my logic was like, well, why would I do something different when this idea works, right? That was my logic. And I to this day, I think that's relatively sound, right? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is a saying for a reason. But The problem was that I was just kind of being really rude about it. And more so, I was simultaneously complaining about how I was kind of a little burned out on Cities Skylines, about how I've put all this time into it and I've done all the same things and all that. So on one hand, you've got me sitting on social media going like, I'm really burned out on this game. And on the other, you've got me going and telling people who are like, hey, maybe do something different. No, that's dumb. It wasn't a good look, and I regret it a lot, because it just, like, it didn't do me any favors at all. Like, people kind of caught on to the fact that I was being a bit of a butt about it. And I'm not really happy about that. So if I replied to one of your tweets when I was being like really snarky, this is a great start to a series, isn't it? Oh, hey, remember that time I was a bit of an ass on Twitter? Good job, me. But, yeah, like, I do regret that. I really do. Like, there was no need for me to be that snarky about it and that cynical. And it, like, I'm a cynic. I am cynical about a lot of things in life. Like, I really am. I am a fan of a lot of critics, and one of my favorite YouTubers who's unfortunately no longer with us was Total Biscuit. And I sort of grew up watching Total Biscuit in a way, which is weird to think about because it feels like just yesterday, especially with him no longer. Anyway, so I a lot of that kind of, when I was younger, I would always try to be like these critics that I would watch, and it just was not a good look. It really wasn't for me, because I was, on one hand, I have this like, hey, I'm friendly and I'm trying to do content that's available for everybody, and then someone that, you know, one of the big things I thought about was like, hey, what if someone goes from one of my videos, right? And they're like, oh, this guy seems like decent or whatever. And then they go to my Twitter and I'm just swearing and like doing all this nonsense. Anyway, oh, what? I didn't realize I downloaded all of this. Okay, well, apparently I downloaded all of this. We'll put a pine tree in there. That's a decent little park, though. I think it looks nice. We'll put some trees in sort of the corners and that stuff. But yeah, that's I think story time for today. Really really didn't expect to go off on that kind of tangent, I'll be real with you. But it feels good to get that off my chest. I'll be totally real with you again. It does feel nice to get that off my chest and kind of explain that. So if you've been wondering why this series has been a little bit late or why anything's been going on, then there you go. I feel kind of awkward now. You know what I said earlier about when I was talking to that guy Lyndon, and you have that moment where someone asks you how you are, and you tell them your life story. I think I think that's literally right there is it's just the perfect example of that, except no one asked. Like, literally no one. This isn't a live stream, so no one in chat was like, hey, what about this? That was just spilling the beans and making an idiot of myself, but there you go. Anyway, we have a nice little park there in the middle. We have 2,100 people, which is beautiful as well. We are low on power. We have fire problems. Let me go ahead and throw a fire station next to the police station. Let me go ahead and throw a medical clinic right there. And let me go ahead and throw another power station or power plant right there. So we'll have enough electricity. We'll have policing, fire, and medical. And on top of all of that, we do in fact have the means to go over and say that this is going to be a grand old ore industry area, which I am so excited about. So we, in the next episode, are going to have to connect this up. We're going to have to go ahead and start getting the ore moving, get the industry growing. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think this little park's going to look great when it's all built up. This is just fun, man. Like, I'll be real with you. I've been treating videos lately as one-man podcasts, and it's so much fun. I did it with some Slime Rancher episodes that you'll be seeing in like a week. I did it with some Rescue HQ that you'll be seeing shortly, and here we are, new Cities Skylines series, and it's a one-man podcast. If this is your first time watching a video on the channel, I'll understand if you don't subscribe if you've made it this far. If you did enjoy it though, a like on the video would be hugely appreciated, especially with it being the first episode of a new Cities Skylines Let's Play. And again, if you are new around here, you can also click that subscribe button and it will put all of my videos into your subscription feed, assuming YouTube is actually working, which quite frequently it doesn't. But if it does, then it would be appreciated as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. So excited to be back playing Cities Skylines and doing something a little bit different. Hopefully you are as well. With that in mind, as always, it has been my pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!